7 Hail Marys, cause these niggas out here lurking. Trigger happy be a pleasure. Left a lot of niggas jerking. Curry rice, chicken peas. In Iraq where it's smirkish. Rag top, Porsche Bentleys. Niggas die and meet they purpose. I quote 7 Hail Marys, cause these niggas out here lurking. Trigger happy be a pleasure. Left a lot of niggas jerking. Curry rice, chicken peas. In Iraq where it's smirkish. Rag top, Porsche Bentleys. Niggas die and meet they purpose. Forgiano's getting basic. Had to lead a foreign stock. Got a laser, fuck your grievance. And come stocky with this Glock. Lil bro be popping stoves, but he's still a teeny bop. He be slipping through them knots. Throw the hammer, run from cops. 20,000 on my piece. Hustle trapping off the street. Niggas violent, but they running. Only showing that they weak. Used to hit them football tickets on the yard walking with me. BMF has been a model. Below a 50, then re-eat. I fell in love with stunting. I can put this on repeat. Bad bitches, but they trash. Show me somebody that's neat. Lamborghini like a cheetah. Probably race it till it's peak. Girl Scout with the tris. Probably died and fall asleep. Nike runners on my feet. Every step I take elite. Newport KV turn fag. Closest thing to a street. Turn my views to Miami. Tryna settle on the beach. Went cheap with the Prada. Ice load took a week.
Oh, you know, you got a radio in the background or something that's going off.
I turned it down.
Okay. Yeah, what's up, Anthony? And I
Man,
wanted to call you, man. You know what you say, what's the big old deal with the
what's
people?
the big old deal with the people? First and foremost, let me say this though before we get off into the conversation, right? Like I said in my video, you feel me? I wasn't coming for you or coming at you or none of that. You feel me? You've been doing it for a long
No,
time, so
I didn't even take it like that, homie. I didn't even take it like that. In fact, I like the video.
Yeah, no, for sure, because people like myself and you, like, I ain't gonna lie, I dealt with that same adversity. You feel me? I'm a homie that just exactly the stuff you was explaining in your video, bro. Like every time I was out on the streets, bro, I handled business, bro, to where it kept me off the streets to where the police always wanted to keep me in jail. You know what I'm saying? I had the same arresting officer like over 10 different times, you know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of times I was in jail, you feel me? I never called. You feel me? I never called the homies, never asked the homies for anything or anything like that, you feel me? But I had like a little situation a few months back where, some of the homies that was in jail, it's felt like people wasn't looking out for them and stuff like that. And, they in crime, they in jail for crimes that has to do with the set and stuff like that. And I had to like tell them dudes, like, look, man, check it out. I'm not about to even go back and forth with you about who got more work. You know what I'm saying? But let's just say this, bro. I did more jail time than you, if not as much as you did, homie. And I ain't never called the streets to ask nobody for anything or felt like nobody owed me anything. You feel me? I'm saying, like, I just got it out the mud. You feel me? Because from the beginning, like, when I first entered this, even though I was an adolescent, I still thought I had an understanding that it was a full-time job and I had to make my own pay. You know what I'm saying? But that was just something I wanted to share, and I'm gonna let you get into what you want to speak about.
No, I understand, homie. When you said it, like for me, like all the time I was doing time, I've had homies that cried about homies not sending them nothing. I ain't never been one of them. I ain't never like expected the homies send me nothing when I was in YA or prison. You know what I'm saying? I got it how I got it. But like what I was saying in my video is about like after you get homies that do a whole lot of time and got out and wasn't nothing there for them. But now I wasn't even, when I got out this time, I wasn't expecting the homies to give me nothing because every time I get out, they ain't never gave me nothing. But the reason why I had brought it up in the video is when I put the video out there, the real reason why I left the set. And the real reason why I left the set, I just want the world to know and understand, is because God put a calling on my life, homie. He talked to me one night, and I heard him, and I felt it in my heart and in my soul. And I was like, you know what, God? I got more years in back of me than I have in front of me. And the few years I have left, I'm gonna live them for you.
For sure.
And so it wasn't because I felt my set it turned their back on me or felt my set it did this and this. But now in the haste of me telling my video, I got emotional and I let my emotions get away from me, and I started speaking on stuff that was in my heart and in my mind about the turf, which I never should have did, because you know what I'm saying, anybody been watching my YouTube for years? No, I don't air dirty laundry, and I do
Yeah.
not talk about street stuff and do all that stuff. So for me to do it then, you know what I'm saying, like I told the homies, yeah, I was wrong, but my emotions got away from me and I got on the road and I went to talking. It's just like when I was speaking on, you know what I'm saying, all the exploits that I did for the turf. I did a lot of them, homie. I did a lot of them. But yeah, true enough, I felt my homies, they was kind of mad about me making it seem like we didn't have other homies that did nothing. And that's a lie. I had a
Hello.
lot of homies.
Yeah.
You know, I had a lot of homies that really put
Yeah.
in for the
I,
turf. We got homies that's on death row for the turf. We got homies that's doing life for the turf. We got homies that gave their life up for the turf. And so I cannot take that sacrifice from them and make it seem like it was just me doing it all. It was just me expounding on what I did do over abundantly. But yeah, never let it be said that we didn't have other riders for the turf, because we did. Like you mentioned, the homie Snoop. Snoop was a stone down. But the thing is, a lot of homies felt like I put myself on a pedestal. You got to understand, I'm 61 years old. A
yeah.
lot of stuff I did was back in the day, and the majority and the 90%, 95% of the dudes that's running around Fire Trade right now, they don't know about that. They weren't even around. You know, when I got out of prison, I didn't know 90% of these homies was boo boo and this and that. And I got it in and talked to them about that. But like on the one clip when I was talking about, you know, the homies being over there on Main, and
Yeah.
I had to get out, get cracking,
Yeah.
and the homie brought it to my attention. It made it seem like I was saying that happened this time. No, homie, that was something that happened way back in 1981,
No,
82,
and but
before
but but anybody with sense, not to cut you off, anybody with sense would know that you wasn't talking about recently. You anybody like with common sense, and not to like throw no jabs at anybody, but anybody with common sense to know that you was talking about in your time of game banging.
But you know what? I had a lot of homies from the set that seen the video, and they thought I was talking about now. And so I had to let them know, no, homie, this happened back in 81, 82 when I got out of YA, way back then, before
Hello, phone
they was
boy,
even
man.
thought of. I had to straighten that out. And some of the things that I did have in my heart with the homies, I come up in a whole different era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the gang banging that I came up in is totally different from the gang banging of
To,
today, and it kind of threw me off, because it would be like little stuff that would happen in the set that I felt should have been should have been taken care of a certain type way, and it wasn't, and I didn't understand it, because I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to bang the way they bang today. I come up in the eras of the big monsters, the crazy D,
for sure,
the
exactly.
mad bone.
That's your
You know what
generation
I'm
for
saying?
sure.
These dudes I ran with, Big Trey Ball and all of them. We used to kick it on 71st and Normie every day, like it was like clockwork.
Most
And
definitely.
so,
And that was and right, because I had been seeing your video, right? So I was like, okay, boom. I'd had a time. I didn't have a time to react to it, but just right off the back, you is like a an elder homie that I got respect for. So I'm like, let me tap into the homie video and see what he talking about. What made him, what helped him or made him make his transition and put it on the internet. So I just happened to pull up on some homies. Ain't no need to say their names and nothing. Like I happened to pull up
right,
on some
right.
homies from Avalon. I'm like, man, y'all seen the thing on Tune. You know how y'all feel about Tune. You feel me? In the little segment. So, one of the homies, he was kind of like, man, like I just feel, like, he shouldn't have said, like basically did nobody have more work than him. And that's where kind of like the little Snoop thing came in at, because he was like, I know Tune, but he had been in jail a lot, but he like, I'm a homie that been from the like Tune been around longer than me, but he like, I've been from Avalon since like the 90s. And he like me coming up, he was like, like how Tune talking, he like, man, Snoop was that nigga for me. You feel me? I'm saying, and I ain't gonna lie, this is what I kind of hate about social media, right? That when I be running into people, a lot of people be wanting me to do stuff on, how they feel. Not saying that's what the homie from Avalon was on, but like a lot of people be like, oh man, hey, you should have said this or go say this. And I mean, like with some people, I'd be like, man, y'all need to make a channel, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
You know, Yeah, and when I seen your video today about that, I was like, you know what? It wasn't that, you know what I'm saying, I guess they was feeling malicious. It was just about they was speaking on what they knew, like they was talking about
Exactly.
like the Snoop. You know, Snoop was out a lot in the 90s, and that's one homie right there that his cripping was impeccable, homie. You can't take none from it. The homie was a 1,000,000% rider. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, you too.
But the lot of the dudes that's running around today, they was out there with him to see that. But and you know, so like I say, back in the 80s, they weren't around to see what I did. So they really don't know about it. I'm not mad at them for feeling that type of way because they just don't know.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you know, I had, you know, but now the few older, like the homie, it's no more than about 5 or 6 dudes that's left from my generation, homie, that was around, you know, back in the late 70s and 80s when we was doing our thing. So, you know, if they didn't know, they didn't know. But far be it for me to even like throw any shade toward the turf. I love them. I'm going to always love them cats. You know, even though I transitioned over to something bigger and better, I feel I gave my life to that turf, homie. So
For
how, and
sure.
it was my family, you know. And so I can't, you know, a lot of them felt like, well, dang, man, the homie turned his back on us. Nah, I ain't turned my back on y'all, homie. I just doing something a little different. I still love y'all. I know, you know, I know the heart that a lot of the homies had. Cause like I say, if I did 40 years in prison and the turf's still there, even bigger, somebody was doing something, you know.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so you know, yeah, I just had to straighten that a little bit out. I understood where they ire was coming from by me putting myself on a pedestal and like what nobody else doing nothing. No, it was a lot of them doing something, homie. But like I say, when I went to talking about it, my video
You
should
got
have just
got passionate, you know, because I mean, shit, you
I
know,
got
you.
passionate,
Yeah,
homie.
most definitely. I already know. I already know, bro, and
Yeah,
and
you
that's
know,
what I
and
say.
by right, that video should have stayed with just about me going to God, and that was it. But and, you know, a little bit came out, a little bit more, and next thing I know, I'm ranting and raving. You know,
For
I'm
sure, for
ranting
sure.
and raving. I ain't gonna leave. And you know what? To tell you the stomp down truth, when I put the video up and it came up on YouTube, and I looked at it again for myself, I looked at my wife. I said, "Baby," she's like, "Babe, what's up?" I said, "It's gonna be some people mad about this."
Yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
knew it because you know I knew it was coming. You know.
For sure, for sure. Like regardless of what you do, you know, somebody gonna feel some type of way. Regardless if you didn't even say all that, you know, you still was gonna have somebody. Oh, what do you mean he stopped gang banging and you know and stuff like that. So I
Oh
just you
yeah,
know
yeah,
I
yeah.
see that with life period and as well something else just like as far as on the work call like situation right and that's why like I ain't gonna even lie just like amongst you know like you know comrades or situations like that be coming up you know I be always the first person to say man like shit unless you was there man like who really knows man you know we don't know who did what unless you was there with them or they was banging with you you know what I'm saying but you know what I'm saying
Exactly,
that's how that little stuff
exactly.
go but I already know we all get passionate you know and then our passionate you feel me like you know what I'm saying like shit we lose sight sometimes you feel me so you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it's all
yeah. We've
good
been in,
you know, it's
we've
still the
we've
same. You
we've.
know, it's still the same respect here. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And I seen a couple of like I be reading the comments. You know, I watch your videos every day, and I see some of the comments like people. You know, I see where they be trying to come after you. Man, listen. One thing I'm gonna tell you, I love how you keep it. You do like me, homie. You keep it in the middle of the street. You ain't trying to favoritism left or favoritism right. You calling it how it came to you and what it was about. Man, keep your integrity, homie, and keep doing that. And no matter what people jumping in the comment, oh, you talking too much about the Hoovers. Oh, you talking too much about this. I learned one thing about this internet. You never make everybody happy, homie. So do what you do to make you happy. And don't even worry
Exactly.
about the rest.
Most definitely, man. Right there, man, for sure. And that's how I carry it, man. I don't, you know, ain't no negative energy gonna be, you know what I'm saying, forced upon me. You know what I'm saying? So just like, you know, as far as the comments, you know, that's how I just drown them out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gotta pay attention to it for real, for real. If you're gonna be negative, you know, we drown the negativity out.
That's right. That's right, man. But man, like I said, I'm gonna end it, man. I love what you do, homie. Keep doing it. Keep doing it, homie. You know what I'm saying? Because people need to hear it. A lot of people go, you know what I'm saying, flock to you to hear. And you know, like I say, man, I'm new into this Jesus thing, but hey, man, you still pushing it for the gangster car, homie. I ain't gonna sit there and act like,
No,
you know
hey,
what I'm saying. Yeah,
shit, no.
push it, homie.
Hey, look, man, with a lot of people, right, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna leave it on this note, right? Hey, look, man, like, hey, I don't think you knew to it. I just think you know what I'm saying, came back to embrace it. I don't know how it was when you was growing up, but I know, like, in a lot of black households in my time, like, man, they used to force us to go to church. You feel me? Like, a lot of our
Yeah,
parents is Christian. You feel me? So, we
yeah,
just took to the streets and banging. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, we made that choice ourselves. But, my parents, my mama for sure was religious. My grandma was religious. Her sister used to make me go to church. So,
of
you know,
course, yeah.
it ain't like you just found Jesus Christ. You just, accepted him back into your life. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Exactly, homie. Exactly, man. So I'm gonna end it right there. Like I say, man, I love what you do, man. Keep doing it. Don't let nobody stop you, and keep pushing forward, homie. And you know what I'm saying? God bless you.
Yep, you already know. Salute. God bless you as well.
All right, homie. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
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 I'm trying to tell you.